Hey guys, it's Jasmine and I'm back with another nursing school video. So today's topic is going to be tips and tricks and how I studied and passed NCLEX. A lot of you guys see my NCLEX vlog, and I do want to say thank you so much to all the sweet messages you guys wrote, all the nice comments, and those of you who were saying, you know, you have faith in me and welcoming me into the nursing community and family and all that other stuff. I really want to say thank you guys so much. It really meant a lot to me. That was a very stressful time in my life, and I am so glad to be done. And today I have officially finished my second day of orientation. So since I had a little bit of time, I wanted to get this video up for you guys who are telling me that you're about to take your NCLEX. So if you're interested in the 6 things that I use to pass NCLEX, make sure you continue to watch. So first thing first, I know a lot of you guys are not gonna like this, but let's be honest. You have to know the material. When you step into NCLEX, it's pretty much you know it or you don't know it. And about 95% of the questions you're going to feel like you don't know anyways. I honestly felt like, although I did a lot of stuff in preparation for NCLEX, I feel like I was not prepared for it. I felt like even if I had to retake that test, I still wouldn't fully know how to study because the questions are just so off guard. I honestly blanked out after that test and was like, I have no idea what I just did, but I know I got a lot of select all that applies. I did a little tally, and once I got to 30 tally marks, I stopped counting because I was freaking myself out and was like, oh my gosh, I got 30 select all that applies and I'm still getting more. So I guesstimate around 40 to 45 of my 76 questions were select that all that applies. I got a lot of farm questions. Honestly guys, it's either your school has prepared you to take this test, or they have failed you miserably, or you have failed yourself miserably by taking school as a joke and barely getting by because it's kind of like you know the material or you don't. Step 2 is going to be take a review course. Now my school offered ATI Live Review, which is a 3-day review class from an ATI instructor who comes to our class. She gives us this comp predictor book. She basically focuses on what our class as a whole really struggled with on our comp predictor that we did prior to her coming. So some stuff I understood, some stuff I didn't do well on. I never have been good at terps. I always confuse Addisons and Cushings. Well, I don't anymore, but I did at that time. Confused Addisons and Cushing. She went over some nutrition stuff. She went over cardiac stuff, diabetes stuff, how to read the labor and delivery monitors. She briefly touched on EKGs, but I do really well with EKGs. So I would say take a review course. Now Kaplan has one that's hella expensive. I'm not trying to bash Kaplan. I did go to their information session, but when I found out how much it was, I was like, I'm a broke ass college student and I can't afford to pay for this even with the student discount. Kaplan's ridiculous. Hearst also has an awesome review. I know a lot of people who took the Hearst review that absolutely loved it. Classmates that graduated prior to me told me that the ATI Live Review was really all that you needed. I opted to go the cheap route and do the review that my school offered, and it paid off. ATI Live also gives you access to the ATI Live practice questions, and it's Med-Surg, a comp predictor, an NCLEX review, did I say Med-Surg? I think I said Med-Surg. Mother baby, pediatrics, mental health, pharmacology. So you get all these subsections with about 30 to 60 questions depending on which subsection it is. Number 3, I started doing actually about 4 days prior to taking my NCLEX. One of my friends texted me and said, hey, I've been doing these practice questions from a website called nurseslab.com. They're NCLEX style questions. I mean, there are 20 question tests, 40 question tests, there's 65 questions. There's some that you can do that are all select all that applies questions, and it is really a good tool. None of these exact questions was on my NCLEX, so don't think that these are going to be similar questions or the same questions you're going to see on NCLEX. It's not going to work, but it gives you a general idea of what areas you lack, what areas are your strong points, and it allows you time to figure out what you really need to study instead of trying to study everything, because then you'll do a cram session and you'll forget everything and then that kind of backfires on you. The fourth thing I did was install some apps on my phone. I am on my phone constantly. I always have my phone attached to me. So what better way to occupy my time than some NCLEX review apps? There's two of them that I use. The first one is the ATI app, and it is actually called ATI LTERN Mentor. And I installed the free one. Now there's a free one and there's one that costs money. Of course, the one that costs money is going to give you a whole lot more questions than the ones that's free, but the one that's free I still think gives you like 100 and something odd questions. And what I would do was in the morning while I'm waiting for my kids to get ready and I'm just like shooting the bull, I would go through and create like a small little quiz of 10 questions and just some random questions from all different subsets and do those 10 questions. I would review them and then I'll do 10 more questions, review them, and then I'll walk away. But anytime I had downtime, I opened one of these apps. The next app is called NCLEX RN. And let me tell you guys about this app. So I originally installed the app and I never opened it. So of course before I took NCLEX, I started opening it and utilizing it. And over the weekend, for some reason, I had access to every single subset. I never paid for the app to upgrade the app. I just downloaded the free one, and I think it gives you neuro for free, which I suck at, by the way. And it gives you, I think, a respiratory for free, and they're like 100 questions a piece. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I can, still use these. But over the weekend, I had access to every single thing. I don't know why, but I used it like crazy. I was going through OB, I was going through PD, I was going through mental health, which is my strongest area. And I was just doing as many questions as I possibly could because it was a glitch in the system. However, if I had to go back, I would definitely pay the $19 for the full version throughout nursing school. Because it was just so many questions, so much information. The rationales are really in detail, and if I had to do it again, I would purchase the whole entire app. And I'm usually not one who buys apps, but these apps really are amazing. The fifth thing that I did is a kind of a combination of two things. I used my Saunders NCLEX book. The infamous Saunders book. I'm pretty sure if you're in nursing school, you've heard about this book. Everybody uses this book, and the reason they use it is because it's freaking awesome. It breaks everything down. It is a rather large book, but it just takes everything you've learned within 2 or 4 years and kind of condenses it to something that doesn't make you feel overwhelmed. There's practice questions, there's a comp predictor or a comp exam in the back of it, which I did all of those questions. And I also utilized the online questions, which I think it gives you like 3,500 additional questions. And instead of watching YouTube videos, I was answering those questions. So during that time, I kind of moved away from all of my hobbies and things that I enjoyed and solely focused on answering as many questions as I can and trying to retain as much knowledge as I did. That way I can see what I really needed to focus on versus what I didn't. And the last one is going to be the hardest for you to do. Be confident, have faith, and pray. I had to keep the faith that God placed me in this position for a reason. I had to trust myself and be confident in myself that I knew the material, that I have studied my butt off for the last 2 years for this moment. And although I was not confident in myself, so like I said, it's really easy to say, it's really hard to do, because after I took NCLEX, I literally bawled. I cried in my car for like 5 or 10 minutes with my husband trying to coach me off the ledge, because I was seriously like an emotional wreck. I could not even fathom what had just taken place in that room. It was like something I've never experienced. It's the hardest test I've ever taken in my life, and I just had to sit there and pray. I had to pray to God just to give me the faith and the courage to believe in myself and know that I am exactly where He wanted me to be. And that is just something that you have to do. You have to believe in yourself. Let's touch base on the Pearson Vue trick, because I know you guys are going to ask me, did I do it? Hell yeah, I did it. However, Pearson Vue has caught on to this trick, and they have modified the way that it works. So what you have to do is basically go in, act like you're re-registering to take NCLEX, and it's going to take you to the page where you have to pay again. So you enter your credit card information. If it tells you you've already been scheduled for this exam, that's the good pop-up. If it schedules you or lets you schedule and it processes your money out of your credit card, that's the bad pop-up. However, sometimes if you pass, it will still accept your money. And if it accepts your money, you cannot get your money back. So what I did was I went to Walgreens, purchased a little cheapy prepaid credit card that had $5 on it, and I used that. One other thing that I've heard that happen is you can actually use your regular credit card and change the expiration date. And if it tells you your credit card cannot be processed, information is incorrect, re-enter your credit card information, that's a bad pop-up. If it tells you that you've already been scheduled for this exam, it's a good pop-up. So up till 47 hours after I took my test, I kept getting the good pop-up. So I'm assuming Pearson Vue works. There's just a few little glitches that can get you, and if you end up paying and it processes your money and you pass, you cannot get your money back. So keep that in mind. So those are all my tips and tricks and what I did to pass NCLEX. Did they help? Obviously they did, but my number one thing to tell you guys is know your information. Any links that I can provide for you guys, I'll leave them down below in the description box. If you have any questions that you want me to add to my nursing Q&A that will be posted next week, make sure to leave it below, because I've already been accumulating questions from you guys. I will make sure to include any and everything that you guys ask me if it's going to help you guys further your career in this nursing field. And until the next video, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.